What is to be done, Thorpe? This unhappy situation worsens every day. Now I have it on good advice that the king is at York, and we are all embarrassed by the royal visitation of the Duke of York and Sir Willoughby Daresby and this nest of royalist spies.
Sir, I think not that a visit of this kind can do aught but bode ill. The royalist party's been snooping around the blockhouse the whole day. My informers, and I have many of them, report that they are checking all points. And they are anxious to observe, they say, His Majesty's arms and powder.
I thought, these men cometh not here for sweet talk and sophistry. These men have a purpose. They sniff, they watch, their eyes rove and cannot keep still within their sockets. Have my orders been given?
Indeed, sir, to the word. All the troops have ensured that citizens are indoors. The curfew will be maintained, and the garrison will admit no one to the castle. The captains have trained eyes upon our royal visitors. None have detached themselves from the main touring body.
Oh, good. Then we must see to it that no embarrassing situation occurs to destabilize our tenuous position.
Sir, I must have words.
Speak, sir. What news?
On my way into town, I came across a royalist sortie. The party was led by Sir Louis Davis. I was suspicious and accosted him. This night has news that His Majesty intends to dine with you on the morrow and requests to be admitted into Hull. Sir, are there any orders?
Yes, Captain Lounger. You must summon all my friends and councillors to meet here immediately. Captain, not a word of this to a living soul. This meeting must be confidential. You are acting on orders from Parliament. Do you understand?
I understand, sir. Shall I summon the members also?
But of course. I need to see Mr. Pelham and Sir Henry Vane at once.
So all your fears are founded. This rascally king intends to take the city by some sort of subterfuge. He first sends his own son, knowing no harm would come to him, and a party of his own cause to inspect. How intriguing. You've got to hand it to His Majesty. He is cunning.
Too cunning. I tell you, I don't like it, though. I don't like it one bit. A plot is brewing, and I'm in the middle of this damn political whirlpool. How's to solve this, I don't know.
Aye, well, sir, if you'll forgive me, that's your pigeon, as they do say. It's for me to record all and keep certain that the records are all kept straight.
Aye, Mr. Thorpe. How I envy you at this moment. Mr. Shakespeare was right.
About what, Captain Hotham?
Uneasy is the head that wears the crown. Ironic, isn't it? It's the king this line is meant to fit. Yet right now I feel it pertains to me.
Why so? You have naught to fear. Your position's clear.
Not so, sir. That is it. My position is not so clear. On paper it's fine, but the nuances of this situation make all our positions vague and grey. The king, our sovereign lord, has raised his standard at Nottingham. What is that to you?
If I may be so bold, sir, the king, as you say, has raised his standard. To those of us of the Presbyterian persuasion, the king has brought about his own dilemma. He has brought his nation to the sad door of civil strife.
Yes, Thorpe, yes, we are on the brink of war. A war that will set brother against brother, father against father, family against family. Oh, my God, how our enemies abroad will relish it.
I reckon Richelieu will assist the king.
Some will. They've friends in Holland. Richelieu is too shrewd a statesman to do anything that may be seen to incriminate him personally. We must at once to business. Methinks the captain was not tardy in his duty, and hath summoned all the relevant persons. Sir, your pen.
As always, sir, I am your servant.
Sir, the gentlemen of the council and the honourable members await your pleasure.
Admit them. And captain, pray stay yourself. These events must be witnessed, and then words will be acted upon accordingly.
Sir, As your honour pleases.
Gentlemen, pray be seated. Don't stand on ceremony. Gentlemen, a matter of the utmost seriousness has arisen. And as Governor of Hull, and acting on behalf of Parliament, I need your counsel and advice. We must act in concert. We must act all together. Your counsel and your words will allow me to make a decision.
You have not called upon our services to date. Why now? Matter can be of such great urgency that I'm summoned from my bed at this late hour.
Gentlemen, news has come to me via Sir Lewis Davis that His Majesty intends to visit the town on the morrow. Now you all know, you are all aware, that we have, or should I say I have, as Governor of the town, explicit instructions not to admit him. But yet I think there are some who are not quite sure, and I think it's fairly plain to see, there are some who are not quite sure to the implications in the carrying out of these instructions.
It is plainly a ruse, sir. The king will obtain an immense advantage over the Parliament if once he obtains the possession of these arms and stores held within these walls, and of the port and the fortress of Hull. Anyone that respects the laws of England he looks upon as an opponent, if not as an outright enemy.
Sir, you, as Governor, must act. It is your duty to refuse any entry to Charles Stuart.
What? Are you suggesting that I should make the king an exile in his own country? Deny him a right to his own property? Deny him a right to his sovereign property?
Bought with ship money, seized by warrants not sanctioned by our Parliament. This king has ruled for 11 years above the law. His goods and chattels are to be dispossessed. He has no right to demand what he gained by common thievery.
I will go further than that. I will declare that you pronounce the king a traitor. Aye, a traitor to his people.
Do you understand what you're saying? You're asking me to stand against the king on the town walls tomorrow. If I do that, I will be declared a traitor. And you will be the accomplices.
You act with the full support of Parliament and the Commonwealth. God is on the side of the just, and for sure our case is a just one.
Gentlemen, Sir John Hotham was appointed by Parliament to keep this town, and swore to carry out the wishes of that assembly at all hazards. There is no other honourable way for him but for him to shut the gates against this armed force.
Gentlemen, I am sorely perplexed. What you are asking me to do is that I should obey Parliament, and in so doing, I become a traitor to my own king.
You cannot become a traitor against a king who has already betrayed his office by leaving London and abused his people by exploiting the law to further his own ends. Sir John, King Charles has broken the law of the land, and he fails to understand the function of our Parliament.
I am the leading citizen. I have entertained the Duke of York, who this night sleeps in Sir John Leicester's residence. There is mixed feeling in the town. I take fright at these words.
We are getting nowhere. The governor wants our advice, not our subjective emotions. I'd say we support him in his actions. Parliament is our authority, not the king. We owe our allegiance, if any, to Parliament.
What then am I to do? The morrow brings the king and a guard of several hundred horses. His servants, and to all intents and purposes, he merely sallies forth to visit his fortress.
We've told you repeatedly, he has no authority anymore. Hull is not his town to command. The king has relinquished all his power by ignoring his Parliament, thereby dismissing his right to rule.
You have absolutely no choice in this matter, Sir John. Admit him, you'll be proclaimed a traitor by Parliament. Refrain from doing so, and you'll have acted wisely and with good judgment. And no doubt Parliament will reward you for it.
Mr. Thorpe, it's not rewards I seek. its decisions. To whom else can I turn to except the town's leading citizens? Such a decision, my decision, is crucial. Upon it, and I don't exaggerate here, depends the fate of the nation. I could well be confirming a state of war, and, for that matter, signing my own death warrant.
Not so. You will be carrying out your orders as sent to you by the Parliament. And I don't know why you're making such a great fuss about all of this. For me, your predicament is absolutely crystal clear.
I wish it was so. I too will be declared a traitor if I am seen on the town walls by your side. I'll have no part of your decision. For my part, I am a loyal subject of the king, and will not be party to what is no more than common treachery.
Silence, you stupid men. Your talk is that of a babbler. Whatever decision the governor takes, it will reflect on all of us. Only fate and history will be able to register what is to be.
Mr. Mayor, you cannot hope to sit upon the fence and deny your part in these exchanges. Aye, I'm a witness. I've seen all, and I'm bounden by my duty to declare all when the time is right.
Gentlemen, this day I have entertained the Duke of York and his cousin, the Count Palatine, at the instigation of Sir John, who also has dined with them, as have you all in Trinity House. What manner of men are you? This child will be denied to see his father.
Are you such a dimwit that you cannot see the royal rules? Of course this party was sent herewith to dine, to curry favour and to sound out the mood of the town. We have taken all precautions to defend our town and fortress from these spies. You cannot be deceived by them.
So, there we are. No scheme of action. I am to make a decision based upon your indecisions. That seems to be no worthy foundation upon which to base the fate of the nation.
Sir, your actions are as conceived by the Parliament. You must act on them forthwith, and tarry not, lest this royal viper's nest should uncoil itself and poison loyal souls inside the town. And now, act now, close the gates, have the drawbridges hauled up, and command the troops to stand to action at once.
I agree. We've talked enough. Now must we act. Sir, Governor, as one of the members for this town and borough, I remind you of your solemn duty to the Parliament, and urge that you delay no longer in acting upon its orders.
Gentlemen, as Mr. Pelham says, there really is no alternative. I am driven to take this unpleasing course and refuse the request of our sovereign. I see it. My instructions are, as you say, sir, quite plain, and as you will all know, were repeated last night in similar terms, and confirmed by Mr. Pelham then as now.
His Majesty has before this tasted and approved of our good cheer. We are still ready to serve him with the best meats and wines we have in markets or cellar.
The king is welcome, but not his soldiers.
No, never. This king is a condemned traitor. His actions towards the 5 members I've witnessed. I've seen his tyranny.
Enough thought. I know the zeal you have for your persuasion, but we must not be seen to be active as traitors. His Majesty will be welcomed, but his soldiers and his retainers will have to stay outside the walls.
With the present state of affairs, it would be wiser for the king to withdraw altogether.
Impossible. If I know the king, he will demand an excuse for his troops to have access to the town. And once that has happened, well, we might as well all be hanged now and have done with it.
I agree. The very presence of the king here makes our position impossible, and well he knows it, and will play upon it to his own advantage. We cannot allow him to come within these walls. My words are clear. Sir, Governor, act or be acted upon. Parliament awaits your decision.
The entire nation awaits this decision, and no doubt there are those abroad who await the outcome of this event too. You cannot vacillate any longer, Sir John.
Mr. Thorpe, pick up your pen. Write to Sir William Lister. The governor regrets that he will be unable to receive His Majesty on the morrow, as his responsibility to Parliament does not allow him to permit entry to the town of Hull. without betraying the trust committed to him by the assembled body of this land, the Parliament, the Parliament, due to the great train His Majesty is at present assembled with, but that His Majesty is most welcome in person to visit and inspect the town on his own.
Of course, you will sign this as governor.
Of course. And you gentlemen will sign also.
Come, Mr. Bernard. You're privy to all that's befallen here tonight. You cannot be exempted from any part therein.
I say I will be no part in this
I know,
treacherous
be
act.
damned man. You are as much a party to this affair as all the rest of us.
Since you are determined to be perpetrators of violence, I will sign. God preserve my soul. You are all condemned men. This is monstrous.
Worry not upon it, Sir John. You have sound judgments and have appraised the situation well. I shall attend to it that Parliament hears of your prompt action.
Aye, it shall. I will accompany my friend here to Parliament on the day after and report all is well.
However, all is not yet said and done. I'm no fool. I will not alone take the responsibility or the blame for this act of outright rebellion against my sovereign lord, the King of England.
Sir Governor, as we have earnestly expressed before, you have no choice in this matter. The alternative is not yours to take. Fate has cast you in this role. You are the governor of the fortress of Hull. You must make the ultimate decision. You alone can be the arbiter in this event. You cannot expect us to share with you a role that was assigned to you by the Parliament in London.
How many times must we seek to impress upon you the dire need to act at once? Methought you had perceived our course, and all was now resolved, and again the wheel has turned full circle. Such indecision cannot be tolerated. You make a mockery of this serious affair, sir.
I make the mockery. You, sir, you sit there and preen your curls and say that I make the mockery. I tell you, sir, whose neck will it be on the block if all this should fail? There will be dire consequences for all. And at that time, which party will this group of gentlemen be drinking with? While Hotham's corpse swings upon the Beverley Gate, you'll be supping with His Majesty, I warrant.
Sir, these words are poisonous to my ears. You disgrace your very position as governor. Do you in all honesty consider us to be Judas-like and then turn upon our loyal friends and renege upon our cause? We are stalwart in our firm resolve to uphold the justice and the Parliament, and to bend this froward king to see the error of his wicked ways.
Pray accept my apology. I am confused. My words are not reflecting my state of mind. I do not doubt your faith, nor your loyalty, nor the faith or loyalty of anyone here. But it does seem to me, and you must understand this, that the great burden of this responsibility may well fall alone on my shoulders.
And so it should. You are the commander the governor appointed. No one has the power nor the authority to act in the matter, save yourself.
The captain is correct. None of us here has the power to invested in him to arrive at any decision.
Only you, Sir John, can make the final decision. We are here to advise, and in that capacity alone.
You must realise, Sir John, that we can only act according to your bidding. We have no power to decide one way or t'other. Any action that we implement after this council is said and done must be as a result of your judgments. We can only act on your orders.
Mr. Pelham is correct. You do not seem to perceive your role in this, Sir John. As governor, you alone can be the final word. We can give you advice all night if need be. But in the final analysis, sir, you must reach a decision and give us your orders. Sir John, you seem to me to have an unhealthy fondness for King Charles. Are you sure in your own mind that you know for whom you are acting, and for why, what reasons? You were considered suitable to uphold this post, and now display a wanton lack of personal confidence and will, which in all frankness astounds me.
King Charles has betrayed his role as father of his people. His laws are arbitrary and made without the approval or glance of Parliament. Thomas Wentworth, Earl of Strafford, carried out his wishes. When his work was done, Charles threw him aside like an unwanted dog and left him to the scaffold. Is this a king who understands the law, a king who cares for his people?
King Charles has done everything possible to stretch the patience of the people. His arrogance and tyrannical behaviour has justified Parliament taking a course of action that will in time humble him. His queen, this French harlot, Henrietta Maria, encourages the blind and insensitive monarch daily into further perpetrations against our people. You must act now, and with reason, not your conscience.
You've all signed this document. This is a denial of entry in whatever way the words are angled. Charles Stuart shall not take the fortress of Hull. And you must see to it that he does not, Sir Governor.
All your arguments sing reason to mine ears. Yet I fear so much the consequence of this decision. However, true, as you say, gentlemen, I am the appointed governor. I alone can act for Parliament here. As governor, I am appointed by Parliament to secure and defend the fortress of Hull. I've received no explicit instructions from that assembled body to display any act of discourtesy to our monarch. No action at all that can be misconstrued as being intended to encourage the wrath of the king. Surely the purpose of one and all is to bring the king to his senses, not to antagonize him. I must take your advice and carry out the orders of Parliament to the letter. But there may well be people here whose intentions are to see advantages in other directions. But my primary objective is to carry out the law, and that is what I shall do. The king's rights to his lands and properties do not concern me. The safety of this garrison town is my first concern. I do not intend to become involved in any of the legal aspects. Only the political questions concern me. My letter clearly states that I, as governor of the town, am unable to accede to the king's wishes on account of my responsibilities to Parliament.
Forgive me, sir, but I don't think His Majesty will see it that way.
The decision is that Charles Stuart will not enter this town except be he alone and unaccompanied by his troops. If His Majesty respects our wishes and respects that decision, then arrangements can be made for a tour of its works.
You will forgive my reply on this matter, but I don't think you have the slightest idea of the king's disposition. Not the slightest. Charles Stuart is not accustomed to being given terms, and even less told on what conditions he may or may not enter any town in his former realm. You will be branded a traitor and an impostor, an enemy of the royal cause, and condemned.
So will be the fate of all. I tell you, gentlemen, your actions on the morrow will have far-reaching effects. Sir Henry is right. The king will not be smooth-talked or easily persuaded to see our point of view.
Good. Then my fate is the same as the fate as all assembled here. My lady, bring us some wine. I think we are a little hoarse and thirsty after all this parley. And perhaps what we can do as well is to drink a toast to the success of what comes on the morrow. Leave them here. I will see our masters get their wine. Well, gentlemen, let's be our own serving lads here. Assist me in this, Sir Henry, Captain. And a glass for thee.
Thank you, sir.
So that we can make our toast. Hasten with it, gentlemen. The toast then, gentlemen, is to the success of our venture and to Parliament.
To Parliament. To Parliament.
Well, I think we can say with fair satisfaction then that our venture has been brought to a conclusion. Not exactly to my satisfaction or to mine own liking, but that to which I must concede.
It is me that you should think so. We are advisers in this matter. I feel I speak for all when I say that Parliament will regard your actions as those worthy of a gentleman and a man of truth and justice.
That man is an ass. He should not be seated at this council.
I cannot stomach this any longer. Good evening. Seek me not on the morrow. I desire to be alone.
Guard, stop him. Captain Lowinger, perhaps you will be so good as to accompany his worship the mayor home. The streets are dark, and he may well be in need of some protection.
Now, my lord, there's naught to be afraid of. I'll see you to the front door.
Hey, the decision is taken, and we must support you, Sir Governor. What are your orders?
Man the walls, close the gates, haul in the drawbridges, and flood the surrounding countryside. Maintain the curfew. No one is to leave the town. Have your cuirasses ready. It may be necessary to make a few sorties into the countryside. Rumour has it that there's a royalist ship has been sighted off Paul. So make our warship the Pelican ready for action, and ensure that the harbour is well defended.
We shall depart across the waters. A coach and six awaits us on the far shore. Then to London, to convey these proceedings to the House of Commons on the action that has taken place in these walls.
To the word, a complete and perfect recollection of the discourse.
Good, Mr. Thorpe. I thank you for your assistance and your faithful guidance in matters religious.
It is my duty. See to it that Bernard does not betray us all.
Barnard will be a good dog. He sleeps with a sword at his throat. Not a word shall be said. But he shall stand by my side on the town walls tomorrow. With you also.
Me? But I thought I should be required elsewhere to record the proceedings. Why, no. Of course, but is it really necessary?
Of course it is necessary. A man of your linguistic talent and persuasion should be there too. Now, Mr. Thorpe, home to bed. You need your rest. Godspeed. Sleep well. And so it has come to this. I shall deliver my speech on the walls tomorrow, as promised. God be with me. God be with me, and God be with all of us.
It is here that Charles I stood for 5 hours of abortive parleying with Sir John Hotham before he rode away. All that remains of Beverley Gate are the foundation stones, and perhaps the opening of this site to the public in May 1990 shows that the interest in local history is gathering momentum, and that Hull and Humberside area is becoming a tourist attraction in its own right. In few towns has the medieval structure remained in such dominant form, with only the ancient walls being replaced by the docks encircling the old town. But are Hull people familiar with the decision made in the famous plotting parlour of the old White Hart in 1642? Let's find out. Could you tell us what happened in Hull in 1642?
No idea. No idea. 1642? No idea at all.
In 1642, I wouldn't have a clue.
Could you tell us what happened in Hull in 1642?
I don't know. No idea. No idea at all.
What happened in Hull in 1642?
What, William Wilberforce was it? I don't know. We weren't even born then.
1642, would that be around about the Civil War? No? Yeah, somebody knocking on the gates and trying to get in?
Yeah. One of the kings wanted to come into Hull, and he was barred at Beverley Gate, wasn't he, from coming in? Was it Charles? Either Charles I or Charles II. And Lord Hotham spent all his afternoon on a horse or something, riding, trying to get the troops. And then there was a meeting in the White House. What do we call the pub down at the bottom?
The Old White Hart.
No, Old White Hart. There was a meeting.
As a matter of fact, I've written a little poem. Here is the story. I will tell it to you. How in 1642, Charles I with his army to Hull did ride, but he didn't get in. He stayed outside. Outside the walls, the king's men stayed. Inside the White Hart, the decision was made. And the story here will ever be told, how we kept out the king in days of old.
And the old White Hart has a place in the city's history. But it's difficult to find unless the visitor comes upon it by chance. But once discovered, it's never forgotten. The atmosphere generates a sense of bygone times, an ancient jewel in an ancient city. Nothing appeals to me more than a pint of number 3 and a piping hot meal here in the Plotting Parlour. Thank you, Molly.
Thank you.